scholarship of climate change really does have uncertainties in it, and that's really not good news. So let's take a look at uncertainties, starting with an analogy. Suppose that you have to drive somewhere. What are you likely to encounter? What do you plan for? We'll look at the problems from small to large. We'll look at how likely these are from small to large. When I drive, and, I get caught in traffic and the tunes are blah and they're playing commercials, and the best thing I can hope for is no traffic and great tunes, but what I usually get is lots of traffic, and I used to run into them testing the emergency broadcast system when they go, yeah, but that's nothing compared to getting run over by a drunk driver and then you're dead. Now, what do I do about that? I have a car with airbags and crumple zones and anti-lock brakes, and I put on my seatbelt, and when we had kids at home, we put them in child seats, and we carry insurance. We're happy that Mothers Against Drunk Driving is out there working. We support the police who want to address those drunk drivers. We support the highway engineers that make the roads safer. We put a lot of effort into something that we don't expect to happen because it could be so bad. Now, if we go to climate change, there is a best estimate of what's likely to come from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and that would be here. And yes, there are problems, and it could be that things will be a little better than that, but they could be worse than that, and they could be a lot worse than that. We could hit some tipping point, some abrupt climate change, and have an ice sheet collapse, or the North Atlantic current shut down in the ocean, or a drought hit and the Brazilian rainforest burn and not grow back. There really are possible disasters out there. Now, we sort of know this intuitively. Building good things like my cell phone is really very hard. It takes a lot of tools. You have to get everything right. But you could break this with a hammer, or by dropping it in the ocean, or in a whole lot of other ways. It's much easier to break things than it is to build them. It seems very unlikely that just cranking up CO2 in a hurry is going to turn the planet into something wonderful, but it's pretty easy to see ways that a lot of warming rapidly could break things that we value. Now, the next little bit is personal. I've had the opportunity to go down and testify to Congress, to meet with senators, to meet with other government officials, and my impression is that I've spent a lot of time having this discussion. Here's what we expect. Couldn't it be better? We expect this. Couldn't it be better? See, we've had both sides. And no, we haven't had both sides. Both sides include the possibility of really bad things. The existence of this large tail on the bad side, the same way we deal with transportation, it would motivate taking more efforts now to reduce climate change if we wanted to be economically efficient. And it also would motivate doing more research to reduce the uncertainties.